I've been quiet for a minute, I've been grinding, still in it, I've been counting these digits, excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. The crash came when the cash came. Spend it before you get it like those rookies all on draft day. For the love like it's match game. Hit the ground running, really do it for my last name. They act different when the facts change. I'm not with the tip for tag games. In my own league, I don't chase game. In my own league, I don't hang with lanes. I know I've been quiet for a minute, I've been grinding, still in it, I've been counting these digits, excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. Now how could that be? Talking about who can be talking about me. Feeling like Stretch where I got all this reach. Feeling too blessed when I step on these beats. Now how could that be? I could beat the pressure, I could beat the 2-3. Jab, jab, hook, then I duck and I weave. It was never you, it was me versus me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, I've been grinding, still in it, I've been counting these digits, excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. Better up, get some, swinging for the fences, I might leave it in the sun. Every pitch a home run. Stack a couple tickets just to leave it to my son. Take it back while I be gone. Small city kid, couldn't dream a bigger one. A marathon, never run. Check the scoreboard, how I'm feeling like I won. I know I've been quiet for a minute, I've been grinding, still in it, I've been counting these digits, excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me.
Took a deal, signed another deal, post up in the hills on the rail, headed for a mill, travel with me still, getting kills, all this pop appeal, got these pop stars try popping in, and they getting pop for real. I ain't tryna build, I was tryna lead a meal, getting to it, before I hopped up off the block, I was still going through it, friends doing pills, and came faster than it should've, I was Buddy Hill, shooting at a pace soon as I pull up, dropping buckets, yeah, like it's nothing. In the kitchen chopping onions, yeah. Tears falling down, underdog is finally overcoming. Cause I'm dropping buckets, hey, yeah. Like it's nothing, hey. Earn my respect and burn a budget, hey. Tears falling down, underdog is finally overcoming, baby. Yeah, I'm dropping buckets. Got some cash for me, don't worry about my past for me. I'm driving with no gasoline, this life I live's a fantasy. Yeah, I do this for my dogs, all my day ones and my family. My life gon' live through them if I end up in any tragedies. I hope y'all understand this shit got bigger cause it had to be. I always knew I had it, but just not at this capacity. I recognize the gravity, closer to the summit, stacking chips and counting nuggets. I've been stunting, baby, cause I'm dropping buckets. Hey, yeah, like it's nothing. Hey, in the kitchen chopping onions. Hey, tears falling down, underdog is finally overcoming. Cause I'm dropping buckets. Hey, yeah, like it's nothing. Hey, earn my respect and burn a budget. Hey, tears falling down, underdog is finally overcoming, baby. Cause I'm dropping buckets. Earn my respect and burn a budget. Tears falling down, underdog is finally overcoming, baby, cause I'm dropping buckets.
seeds do an ethnic cleansing.
And welcome to another edition of the Stand on Business podcast. I am your host, Boss Man, the Objectivist. Hey, welcome everybody. I am happy to be back this week. Took a little bit of a sabbatical last week for the holidays and did a lot, and I do mean a lot of cooking. All right. And spent some time with the family. So I took a little bit of a sabbatical to get my life together, but I am back in the saddle and ready to get back to business on standing on business. So who do we have in the sanctuary before we proceed to give you people what you need? I understand that was corny, but that just came out. So apologies to people. Hey, good evening, Milani. Good to see you. Salute to you, dear. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here, dear. And it is the Catalia. All right. Good to see you, dear. All right. Let's see who else. And the lovely Lala Bees. How you doing, baby? Good to see you. All right. It's so nice to be able to say good evening, baby. It's good to see you. All right. Let's see. Edward Gilbert. Good to see you today, sir. All right. Salute to you. All right. Let's see. Who else we got? Hey, it's Mandrell. Good evening, sir. Good to see you. All right. Salute to you. All right. It's Braxton, the Snake Fiend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you as always. All right. Welcome back. All right. And let's see. Who else do I have over on my side? All right. Thank you, sir, for going over to my side and hitting the like button. I appreciate it. Hey, do us a favor. All right. Let's take care of a little bit of housekeeping. Hey, do support the network. All right. Black Men Unfiltered. All right. Brought to you by the man here. All right. Black Men Unfiltered. All right. So send a cash app if you do so feel so inclined. Okay. All right. Only for a temporary time that we'll be doing the cash app only for the moment. Hey, YouTube don't like some things, but it's okay. All right. But send the brother a cash app. All right. These things are free, but they cost some money. All right. So if you feel so inclined, show the brother some love and support the family, support the network. All right. And if you also be so inclined, also, if you feel like supporting me as well directly, you may also submit something to my Cash App as well. But I honestly, if you just feel so inclined, just go over to my show or over to my YouTube channel and just hit the like button, subscribe over there, and come on back over here. Honestly, I would be honored and greatly appreciative, okay, of that alone. All right, greatly appreciate that. All right, but anything you have, all right, support the Black Men Unfiltered Network. All right. Okay, so with that in mind, we'll leave that down here for the moment. For the newcomers, and if anyone also coming over from my side, over from TikTok as well, I appreciate you guys coming on over and coming through. Hey, I appreciate you. Somebody noticed the color. I appreciate it. I try to coordinate some things, so I appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right. But anyone coming over from my TikTok side, I appreciate you guys coming through and supporting the boss man from the TikTok side. Those of you who don't know, I am branching off into TikTok as well, trying to figure out my space over there as well, and doing a little bit of different type of content over there. I haven't quite gotten live access quite yet, so I'm going into different panels over there and bringing a little bit of objective opinions, views on matters such as these relationships, society, things of that nature, but also just bringing a little bit of levity into that arena. So more structured over here, levity over there. All right, and bringing people over here to the fold, to my own podcast, but also the BME network as well. So, all right, so now that the housekeeping is done, how's everybody doing? How's everyone's holidays? All right, go ahead and put it in the chat and tell me how's everyone's Thanksgiving last week. I know I'm kind of late getting back into the saddle. I needed some rest. All right. 2.5 days of cooking and in family and whatnot. I needed a whole day and a half worth of cleaning. Also, so it was a lot, but love family. All right. Family equals work and holidays equals work for me. Okay. I don't remember as a child, feeling overwhelmed for holidays, but one down and technically 2 to go. If I'm doing something for New Year's, we'll see what happens. All right. So anyway, this segment, this segues right to, excuse me just for 1 second. That's going to bother me to no end. 1 second. Okay, it's fixed. Sorry, that picture was not even, and it's going to drive me absolutely mad. So, all right. So, where was I at with that? I got distracted from the uneven picture. And yeah, all right. So that segues to and yes, you guys can laugh at me. Certainly my wife will. All right. That segues to the point of today's topic, which is the importance of men in relationships, family, and society. All right. And so we're in this time of year where it's going to be very, very important. Or let me back up. It's going to be very, very oh, thanks, honey. It's going to be very, very important or very observable and very right in your face and very real how important men are in the family, how important family is as families start to kind of congeal, unite, and kind of gather around this time of year, around Thanksgiving, holiday, Christmas time, New Year's, and whatnot. If you don't feel the absence of family at any point in time of the year, you're going to notice it and you're going to feel it around this time of year. And as what's up, BMU? Little Tevin Campbell. Salute to you, sir. If you don't notice it, you will around this time of year, even if you pretend that, being alone, whether a man or a woman, but for tonight, I'm going to target the women tonight. All right. Specifically. So I'm going to still be objective and still be balanced, but tonight I'm going to shoot center left just a little bit. Okay. If you are a woman and you are visiting families and you start to see either a, small budding family who just got started, or you see this really, really big, large established family, you start to notice that you either aren't part of a family or you don't have your own when you're seeing, established men, established women with their families. And you start to observe the importance of having men in the families, because without that man establishing what we provide as deliverables, I don't want to bury the lead in my introduction, so I'm going to be very vague on purpose. Without that foundation, without that established unity bond congealed kind of sort of, nuclear, kind of circle or pride within that the family presents as, life seems kind of lonely around this time of year. And don't worry, if no one wants to admit it, especially women, if you don't want to admit it, don't worry. You can go down any feed, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and you can see it. I have seen older women and men, to be quite frank, but in this case, women, where it's not observed that they feel this way until it's this time of year, and some years have gone by, and you recognize that you don't have something that others have, and you don't have it because, well, you don't have a man. And fellas, you don't have it because you haven't settled down. So the importance of men to establish what is necessary to establish a home, foundation, family, and that kind of structured, congealed unit that you would see at a dinner table, at a family reunion, at a family gathering, that is not possible without the other 50% of the relationship, which is that man. Okay? So, with that in mind, the importance of men in relationships, because you need the relationship first before we go into dealing with the importance of the family. And then once you have decent, established, cogent, and principled families, those families produce in a microcosm, in a macrocosmic effect, they produce an affect, they produce an affected society. Okay. Hey, appreciate the agreement there. All right. So there was a question that was brought up 2.5 weeks ago on this network at the barbershop with BMU. And he asked the question, why does society have a problem? Well, I'm gonna paraphrase the question. So why does society have a problem with masculinity? And I'm going to take that question a bit further. More than likely on that Friday, I wasn't able to answer the question in full, partly because sometimes I need more time to think. But I wasn't able to answer the question, cogently or in a way that I wanted to be able to answer. But I also wanted to expound on the question, because I think, me personally, I believe that when society hears the word masculinity, the first thing they do is attach masculinity to men, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing because by nature, masculinity is sourced from men. Now, it can be found in women, don't get me wrong, but whenever society hears masculinity, the first picture that comes to mind is a man, and rightfully so, okay? Because innately, we exude and exemplify masculinity as the dominant trait or a dominant set of traits. In the same way that with femininity, women exemplify femininity, okay? That's women. But however, men and women can exude the opposite of the other one, either more more feminine on the masculine, on the man side, or more masculine on the women's side, depending on the level of traits that they either were exposed to or taught, and depending on where they are in their lives and what they do in life. Okay, but just in general, as a foundational principle, men are predominant progenitors of masculinity, and women are progenitors of femininity. Let's just go with that for the sake of conversation. So because society seems to have a problem with masculinity, it naturally gets tied to men. And then what happens? Society seems to have a problem inexorably with men. Okay. So that's why I say, what is the importance of men? Well, in order to dissect or digest what is important about men, we first need to understand, one, what do we deliver? What are our deliverables? The next thing is the absence of men. What are the results of the absence of men? The third thing is when a woman is looking for a man, what are they looking for? Because that'll determine what are we important for. If they're looking for us for something, then that means that what they're seeking for is our importance relative to society, relative to men. So maybe relative to women. So for relationships, women are looking for us to provide something. If they're looking for us for a particular purpose. For a family, the family needs us for a particular reason. If we are needed for the relationship in order for the relationship to be able to produce a particular family. Then for society needs us for a particular subgroup of reasons relative to the overall crux or nexus of the relationship to family, to society. Okay, so I walked down this path to be able to kind of introduce the entire kind of premise of this entire conversation that we're going to have today. Okay? Whew. All right. So first things first, I'm going to provide a bit of a synopsis as not to bury the lead, but just to provide you what I ultimately think society has a problem with relative to masculinity. And quickly, I don't think that society has a problem with masculinity itself. I think society has a problem with masculinity to the extent that it cannot control it. I think society has a problem with the process of masculinity, not the result of it. So as long as society is able to control it, and to the extent that society is able to ignore the process but benefit from its result, those are my two presuppositions relative to why society has a problem with masculinity. All right. And I'm going to go into the reasons why those two suppositions are the case. But I'm going to present them to you first so you guys can chew on it before I give you my reasons. Okay? Now, let's see what's going on in the chat here. Really quick. Let's see. I'd rather spend it at people's place. Oh, that's going on about oh wait, hold on. I'd rather spend it at other people's places if I'm ever invited than at my own so-called family's places in some cases. And I love being by myself. I'll spend it alone, pure tranquility. And some people are lone wolves, especially men. That's more of a trait for men as well. Okay, so I have a surprise for you. So tonight, I am going to bring up my or this show's or Stand on Business podcasts. I'm going to dub her the honorary special guest that I'm going to cameo every so often to have some of these conversations with. Okay. And y'all know her as now as my wife, but it is Lala, or the unapologetically Lala. So y'all, welcome to the stage, my wife, my lovely wife, Lala. Turn on your camera. Hello.
I was getting ready to. Hi there. Hi, chat.
Hello, hello. All right. So, yay, she says, Lala. Oh, it's Angela. Hi, Angela.
Yeah,
This is
it's
TT
Ange.
family. Hey, Ange. Good to see you. All right. So, hey, peace be to you, sir. All right. So, here's what we're going to do. So, my dear, before, how are you doing today, by the way? I don't think have I asked, how are you doing today?
We haven't. We've been running
We've been busy
all day. Yeah. That's what happens when I'm forced to go into the office.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
but it doesn't
so
happen.
it's been
It doesn't happen very often, though.
it happens once a month is too often. So can agree to disagree. You get to work from home every day.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I did tell you that I was going to bring up some clips. All right, just to get your pure reaction for you. And I did, just to confirm, I did not show her any of these videos. So I'm going to spring these videos up on her to be able to get her pure reaction from them. But before we do that, thoughts about anything that I've stated so far, my dear?
No, so just waiting to see where this goes.
All right. On for the ride here. All right. So let's do it. First one, I think you're gonna like. So now, first one, well, let's go for it. Here we go.
Masculine men you'll ever meet are the ones that are soft-spoken, who have a quiet confidence about them, and will probably punch you in the mouth if you get sideways with them, but they'll never tell you that they're going to, and they'll even try to back away. A true masculine man has the capability of being both violent and loving. He's confident enough in himself that he doesn't have to always show aggression to get what he needs to get to. He's just capable of such.
Well, I feel like what is understood doesn't need to be explained. So we're gonna go ahead and proceed on to that. But I will say, relative to the show, stand by, hang on. I will say, relative to the show, what that explains is a tempered person who exudes masculinity. Yeah, there we go. Got some agreement there. Absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
What that exudes is a level of tempered masculinity, or a man who is controlled. Okay. Which, by the way, before I show the main footage here, I polled a few women. I polled a few women on TikTok, and I polled a couple of women in person relative to what they were looking for in a man. Now, these women are over 30, so none of them are under the age of 30. And I asked, what are they looking for in a man? And I asked two questions. One, what are you looking for in a man? And then I also asked if they wanted a man. Well, to the ones on TikTok, I asked if they wanted a man who was dominating, who was able to be dominant. Now, here's how this worked. To the one that I asked in person, I asked, I asked if you would want a man who was dominant. Now, that wasn't intended to be a physical question, but it was intended to just ask about a person's characteristic. And what was told to me was she did not want a man to be dominating because of safety reasons. And she wanted to be able to defend herself. And she wanted to be able to, in the event, because of past issues, she wanted to be able to defend herself in case, DV were to happen, anything of that nature. So I said, now this is the person that I asked in person. Now I said, okay, so now that's interesting. I said, so when it comes to the boudoir, when it comes to coitus, okay? And if y'all don't know what coitus is, I advise you go look it up, okay? So when we're talking about coitus, I said, so you don't want a man to be dominating over you in the boudoir. And she says, oh, yeah, well, I want a man to be able to pick me up and have a good time with me. And, whenever he wants to get down. I said, okay, so wait a second. So you don't want a man to be able to physically dominate you relative to relationship wise. And you don't want one to be dominating physically because of safety, but you want him to be able to physically do so when it comes to coitus. The two, that doesn't math. You can't have one definitely without the other one on a possible level. Both have to exist. So what I come to understand is relative to what the video just showed or talked about or discussed or hinted at, which is a man who is able to control himself and never in any way, form, or fashion exert certain masculine traits in a way that is unwavering or uncontrolled or ill-tempered or ill-mannered, right? Or untoward. But this goes back to my point in my soliloquy earlier, which is masculinity in its traits. Is only desired whenever it's able to be controlled. And here's the problem. A real man does not like to be controlled. He controls himself. And so he does not exist very well or thrive very well in an arena where he is controlled, caged, or told what to do, or not allowed to fully be himself. So what's being asked for there is someone who really honestly would never be violent towards that individual, that particular woman, which is understandable. Don't get me wrong. But the problem there is that particular woman, the one I talked to one-on-one, that particular woman would rather have a weak man than someone who is strong-minded, strong-willed, and driven, purposeful, foundationalized, all of the predominant characteristics of masculinity outside of the physical part, because of the, I guess, perceived ability within herself to maintain or exert some sort of control because of the safety part. So here's the dichotomy that society and women oftentimes find themselves in. What is dangerous in a man is also attractive. Would you agree with that, dear?
Can be.
Can be, right. So those are what they call dark triad traits. The process of what is the process of what you find in people who are dangerously masculine are the same traits you find in someone who's positively masculine. The difference is that they know how to control it. They know how to use it and wield that double-edged sword in a way that isn't destructive, that isn't reductive in any kind of way, that is dangerous or something to be concerned or worried or have any contention with. Thoughts on that statement?
I think that it depends on the man himself, his self-awareness, and his ability to properly work through his emotions. Because contrary to popular belief, men have emotions.
Wait, what? Another feminist, she wants manhood, masculinity to be. Oh, I think she's talking about Lady D. I don't know who he's talking about actually.
Not a clue.
I think he's responding to. Oh, he has a. Because it's a finishing statement from something else. I see. Okay.
It was broken up. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's broken up. Yeah. Males weren't created to be controlled. That is correct. Do you have some agreement there, babe? Yeah, and look, as I was talking to those on the TikTok side, the thing that I was explaining to those was that you cannot get a man with the expectation that you're going to curtail and control and say, I like I like you like this, but I don't like you like that, and do that all the time. And masculinity and all of its good traits also comes with a little bit of sacrifice on the woman's part, in the same way that if a man wants to bring a woman into his space, there's a little bit that he is adjusting as well to make room for her as well. So to come in and accept a man who is truly all that definition actually is, to think that you're going to be able to control him, that's a problem. And society seems to demonize and break down and destroy men who do not want to be controlled, or told that your masculinity is too rambunctious, it is too broad, it is too brawn. Those men, society says, there's something wrong with you. Well, there's something wrong with me because I don't ascribe to you saying that there's something wrong with having boundaries. There's something wrong with saying I don't like something. There's something wrong with having expectations. There's something wrong with looking at a woman and saying I don't want that, nor like that, nor appreciate that. I don't accept all things from all women. Is that a problem? So what are some traits of masculinity? Now, mind you, people, I meant to mention this earlier, but it's fine. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Things are moving relatively slow on my end. So if you can hear me, bear with me 1 second. Everything just froze on my end. I have no idea what happened. So if you guys can hear me, bear with me 1 second. I have no idea what just happened.
Yeah, I can hear you. Nothing.
You can hear me?
On our end. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The interface on my side froze as soon as I tried to share. I can still hear you though. But I tried to share the actual screen, and for some reason, everything just stopped. So I'm literally clicking around and everything is pausing. Technical difficulties. I love this when this happens. Stand by. There we go. And we're back. All right. Let's try again. So I was going to mention this earlier, but when we're talking about masculinity, I have an idea of what masculinity actually is. And it's broken up into this three-part triangle. There is the characteristic part of masculinity. There is the physiological, and then there's the psychological part of masculinity. You could do the same thing with femininity as well. Okay. If your mindset about masculinity is only what is countenance related or corporeally related or physiologically related or phenotypically related, this conversation is not for you. So have several seats in the back if this conversation is for you. If that is your mindset of what masculinity actually is. Traits of masculinity: independence, courage, fearlessness, strength, assertiveness, leadership, emotional stoicism, reluctance to show vulnerability, dominance, self-reliance, being a provider and protector. And that's an AI generated response. Yes, the physical aspect of masculinity is indeed part of it. Don't get me wrong. But if someone does not have, the physical aspect of masculinity, then what they tend to do is make up the difference by being more assertive, being more driven, having more dominance, being more of a leader or possessing leadership qualities, having more courage, setting more boundaries, having more of a purpose, being more financially stable, things of that nature. Those same thing on the female side. If a woman is born and she does not have or possess what society in that time says that is feminine, like someone who is muy bonita, for instance, then she will then take on other traits like being more submissive. Maybe she is, maybe she is more of carrying more of a softer tone as opposed to, someone who is very, very, more charismatic or whatnot, because the traits of being a lady is going to be more attractive not more attractive, but more important for her, because she doesn't have the physical qualities that a man would look at and would be fooled by with someone who is more pretty. I don't mean to be sharp there, but these are facts. A man who's short is probably going to need to always stand as tall as he possibly can all his life. And a man who's tall, unfortunately, what ends up happening there is he relies a lot on the fact that he's tall. Therefore, his manhood is always assumed because he is imposing all the time, because he looks manly. No one would ever dare go and try and fight a giant. The problem is that because it's always assumed, when a woman goes and looks at him and says, "Oh yeah, that's a man right there because he looks like a man," beard or all the characteristics of a man, what ends up happening is when he's tested, because no matter how short a woman is, a woman will always test a man. She finds out that it may be a little bit of false advertisement. All right. So they hate that trash. So what ends up happening here when it comes to masculinity, if the only thing you're looking at is just the physiological components of this conversation is not for you. Are these not characteristics both men and women should have? Okay, so both men and women should have these characteristics if both men and women are on the same purpose. So if a woman is by herself and she is needing to get the job done, she doesn't have anyone to be interdependent with, or she is in a marriage and she's got a business going on, or if she's trying to get her master's, or if she's, whatever it is that, she's doing either for herself or in concert with her husband or with whoever that she's actually partnered with, married with, or whatever the case may be, then yes, these are some traits that maybe both should probably have in the same concentration. But if you as a woman have these same traits at the same concentration as a man does, and you wield it in the same way that a man does, that can look unattractive to a man who is looking for someone to partner with and go forward with. Or if you use these characteristics against and towards the man. So wifey here, I imagine that she, leads in areas of relative to her job. Even here in the home, there are areas where I have delegated and said, oh, yep, babe, that's you. Because she has more information and more knowledge about certain things because I don't know everything. To be honest with you. Okay. There is a function in her life that she knew and worked in that benefits the household every time that she does something with it. Okay. We always end up saving money when she goes and does this one thing. So boo. Okay. You are part of my privy council. Therefore, I delegate you. And when they call me and say, do you give this person permission to save you money, to save you 15% or more? I do give her permission. But I've delegated that to her to do so. And she's appreciative of the fact that I am grateful for her knowledge. Hopefully I answered the question, under Willow.
And I think with Willow's question, it's like the way that you split it. It depends on the circumstances or the situation. Yes, they can and are both traits that men and women possess, obviously. I looking down that list, I'm like, yep, that's me all the way through. However, that's me at work. That's me with kids. That's me, on social media or anything that I'm doing with my business. That's not me in my marriage. That's him. Because I had to do that as a single parent, so I'm good on that. He can have those.
Has the definition of masculinity changed with the world?
It's Q. Hey, Q.
Hey, Q. Has the definition of masculinity changed with the world? I'm going to star the question. Has the definition of masculinity changed with the world? No, it hasn't. The world has changed, but masculinity...
If the definition of femininity has changed with the world?
Technically, femininity hasn't changed.
Okay.
Technically speaking. What he's asking is the definition of masculinity changed with the world? So the world has changed. Did masculinity adjust with it? No, it technically hasn't. What they have done is they have either added some things to it in order to be either inclusive, or they have created a new segment of it. But everyone understands what the hell masculinity is in its purest form. I don't think anyone really disagrees with what femininity and what masculinity is, because you got people trying to transition from one thing to another. So they have to know what the hell the definition of it actually is. Let's see. Ah, she said yes. She said, Era Black says, I agree. Whatever works for two people is what's best, and it's mutually agreed upon. Agreed. And not all things are gonna. Look, I get off topic here, but not all things are gonna work the same way for everybody. Okay. So everybody is going to have subjective views that are going to kind of change the hue or change the color or tone of the foundational understanding of something, if that makes sense. So yes, I might have a different perspective of what something actually is, but it's rooted from a baseline understanding. But I agree with you. Come on. Okay. So now, where was I going? So I mentioned that we have the characteristic aspect of masculinity, the physiological, and then the psychological. Okay. Now, that's just a general understanding of masculine, of typical masculine traits. Of course, it's not an exhaustive list, but the point I am making about that is that masculinity is not just.
Hold on. Go back to the list really quick.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
What happened?
No, I was looking at the emotional stoicism.
Okay. Now.
Okay.
Now,
because I feel like that part no longer applies now that it's not recognized, but it's acknowledged that men aren't robots that don't have emotions or feelings that can be hurt or need to be acknowledged.
Okay. So let's
feel like that part of the definition has changed a little, where it went from men are just expected to bury their feelings, not talk about them, and just, call it pride and keep it pushing. And now it's like a man can say, yo, that shit you did was fucked up, and I don't appreciate that. And that's their version of you hurt my feelings. And it, at least to me, that makes perfect sense, because how is someone supposed to correct behavior if they don't know that they misstepped in the first place?
Okay. So emotional stoicism is not necessarily keeping your feelings to yourself. Emotional stoicism is having control over your emotions while you are expressing your feelings.
Go back to the definition. Not displaying a wide range of emotions.
So essentially, so what that not displaying a wide range of emotions is basically another way of saying not being trait neurotic.
Okay.
Masculine men know it's time and place to show emotions, not every time. There we go. Now, he said exactly to the last part that I said. I was going back. I was kind of delayed. But yes, he said exactly to the last part that I just said, which was, it's basically saying that you, like, instead of me just wilding out because I felt something in the moment, it's understanding that I feel something. It isn't for me to keep it inward, because what that then does, it then creates a bottlenecking situation that then is going to create an outburst. It does mean that I am going to express what I feel, because you cannot you cannot be expected for anyone to course correct if you don't tell them where they fucked up. And you can't expect someone not to fuck up if you're not possessing a masculine trait enough to be able to establish a boundary. How you establish that boundary, how you express, is relative to the level of stoicism that they're talking about. Because usually petulant children, and sorry to say, a bevy of women, typically just pow, pow, right off, pow, right off, right off, without necessarily processing first and then coming out with some level of cogent understanding, cogent and sensible expression. It's usually emotion. It's usually an erotic sense of emotion first, and then that's why people say women half the time don't mean what they say, because typically they're responding out of just emotion.
Oh no, they absolutely, I'm sorry, that's bullshit. They absolutely mean what they say. Matter of fact, the response out of emotion is what they've been wanting to say and just haven't said. They absolutely, they mean that from the bottom of their soul, honey. Yes, they mean it. But just so point of clarification. So
Sure.
if a man was to exude these traits, these outbursts are tantrums of a petulant child, as you so eloquently put it, would that then make that man a bitch motherfucker? Can I say bitch motherfucker on YouTube?
You can.
Well, I guess I said it twice. Cool. So
I'll allow it. Okay. So yes.
Like if they were to make a series of podcasts because they were butthurt about something that wasn't directed to them, would that make them a bitch ass motherfucker?
You're gonna make me answer that.
No, we can move on. We can move on. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we're gonna move on. Wow. All right. I will let me answer the question in vague terms. Here we go. So if someone is exuding
3 more series.
Okay. If someone were to respond, especially a man, to respond in such a way that is regularly and habitually out of consistent emotion, without poise and stoic, concise, precise, targeted, purposeful delivery, outside of emotion, but with concrete logic and purpose, then yes, that is not a masculine trait. And the point that I'm making there is that if it happens regularly,
like a series, 3 to be exact.
Let's just say if it is cyclical. Okay, my love?
Okay.
All right. If it's cyclical. All right. And Edward says, smile, thumbs up. I'm trying to will it back here. All right. Got it? All right.
I was just asking a clarifying question.
I got your point of clarification. All right. Congress will now move on. Okay. Now, so let's get to these clips. Now, I don't have very much material, actually. Oh, here we go. What does it say? Bingo. And when a man does it, he's the opposite of masculine. Yeah. Now,
talking
okay,
to you, Trey. Talking to you. Go ahead and put a name on it. Talking to you, sweetheart. If you're listening.
No, he
Next
won't.
time, baby, at me, please, by all means, at me. Let me know when you're talking shit to me. That's all I ask. Step to me like a man.
See, now I was going to I was trying to be.
I know, but you ain't gonna get him like I'm gonna get him. And I want to get him because he was talking to me. So he wanted some bitch magic, and I was gonna show him some. Step to me like a bitch, I'm gonna treat you like one.
Angela?
Actually, he didn't step to me like a bitch. He just decided to make 3 series. But I'm sorry. Continue with your show, my love. My apologies. I am so sorry, people of YouTube, my TikTok friends. Y'all know I behave better than this. I'm so sorry.
All right. Behave yourself.
We'll see what happens.
You're not going to. All right. So, don't have much material, but what I will say is, what do we deliver as men to the? You are a mess.
I love that Angela said at me too.
And she's egging on the BS.
I love her. You leave my sister alone.
Try to be calm. Try to be calm and collected.
Not me. I like my ham.
Like this guy right here said.
Men you'll ever meet are the ones that are soft-spoken, who have a quiet confidence about them, and will probably punch you in the mouth if you get sideways with them, but they'll never tell you that they're going to. And they'll even try to back away. A true masculine man has the capability of being both violent and loving. He's confident enough in himself that he doesn't have to always show aggression to get what he needs to get to. He's just capable of such.
Seeing this how I'm not a true masculine man. I'm a what was it exactly? Your beard, overweight, I think, which okay. But then again, neither was he. So does that make both of us bitches, or how does that work? I'm sorry, baby. Go ahead with your podcast.
And moving on. So here are what I think are deliverables that men provide to both relationships and family. I really don't think you're done, but here we go. And moving on.
I'm so far from done.
I totally understand.
Welcome to the circus, y'all.
Yeah, I see. Yep. And so we have provision, discipline, protection, foundation, direction, balance, and wisdom. Okay. So when I polled the 5, I think it was 5 TikTok women, what I found was absolutely nothing physical. Now, ladies of the TikTok side that are here, appreciate y'all for coming. But I also am aware that when this question is asked, you're not going to be completely honest about the physical part. Okay, I'm just gonna put that out there. There's a little bit of want there for the little bit of the physical there. But what I did notice was that in the forefront, there was not the physical requirement, which tells me that the older that you become, the less important, the less in the forefront the physical requirements become, is what it seems.
Does that work on the side of men?
No. So on the men part, it works to a degree, but it works in less concentration, in my opinion. See? Of course. Why wouldn't we? Good point there. It makes him, he is, and choose to be. Interesting. Wow. Okay, I am not going to show that comment. I'm just going to move because I'm trying to move on there. All right. So.
Wait, now I want to know what comment. What the hell did I miss?
Nope. All right. So, because I already moved on, like I said, moving on, lady. So, with that in mind, and the reason why I pulled these together is because when I asked them, the lady said that they would want someone to be a provider. That means they're looking for provision. Okay. If they're looking for someone who is stable, then they're looking for someone to either be foundationed or to provide a foundation or to assist with a foundation or to come in and not fuck up the foundation. Okay. So they're looking for someone who is, let's see, to provide, either emotional safety or physical safety. So therefore they're looking for protection. Okay. These are all things that I believe men, relative to the family, relative to relationships, but these are all traits of, to me, yes, masculinity, but also traits of leadership. Provision for the family, discipline for the household, protection for the household and the woman, foundation for the family unit, the household, direction for either her if she needs it, or the family, or for the unit. Because my wife and I, we have a direction. She has hers, I have mine. But then when we come together, we say, hey, what's our vision? Well, babe, I have an idea, and we're going to work towards this. Balance and wisdom. Balance out some of that trait neuroticism. Balance out some of the things that are not structured. But the other thing is that she can also help balance you as well. Now, I also imagine that if a woman is looking for a man and she already has children, then some of this provision, some of this protection, some of this foundation, some of this wisdom also plays a role into reestablishing that family that is broken too. So yes, it could be. Okay, so I want to be careful when I say, when you say raw masculinity, I'm going to actually just say, instead of raw masculinity viewed as toxic, I'm going to say when masculinity is wielded incorrectly, or when it is in its most concentrated form, but in its more, what's where I'm looking for? It kind of goes with prehistoric, but I can't. I'm losing the word.
I think you said it correctly the first time. Is it's the toxicity is contingent on how it's used by
it's wielded
by the man. Yeah,
I think that right there, not so much raw, but just how it's wielded. Because raw masculinity, it can be viewed as toxic, but women like that shit, especially when they're younger. Society only dislikes that and calls it toxic is because society only calls that shit toxic. I'm trying to be cogent here and diplomatic here, but society only likes that, dislikes it because it's just a fucking fad to say that it's something wrong with it. And the most raw, pure, and unadulterated masculinity don't put up with fucking bullshit. It says, no, woman, I'm not interested in doing that. No, I'm not putting up with that. No, if you're gonna have fucking boundaries, I'm gonna have boundaries too. No, I don't like the way that looks. Go change it. Hey, babe, do I let you walk out of the house with just anything on?
Sorry, that's a two-part question. My initial answer is yes, but then my first
Oh,
thought
I see
process
the
is
answer.
I wouldn't walk out the house looking crazy anyway.
Do I let you walk out of the house with certain things on? A certain article of clothing, babe. It's a simple question.
No. Well, here's the thing: is it's not a simple question because my life has been reduced to t-shirts and sweatpants.
Well, sweatpants ain't a problem for you. It's a problem for me.
Yeah. No, you
Okay. So the
that's
simple answer to the question is that if you come down these steps and you're wearing some shit that I don't like, do I let you walk out of the house with it on if I don't like it? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Simple question.
It's not a simple question because
It
my thought
is.
process goes automatically to like some coochie cutter shorts, and it's like I would never walk out the house in that shit anyway. But I know if I lost my mind temporarily and thought that I was leaving the house in that, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, because you have some couth. You're not uncouthed.
That can be.
But society says that me talking to her in that way or telling her that you're not walking out of the house with that type of shit on, that's toxic. No, it's me setting a boundary and saying, I certain type of attention, I prefer that you don't necessarily, one, either get or don't necessarily garner your direction because one, you're a wife, two, you're a mother.
And I
That's
think the
being
reason why I
protective.
have a hard time answering that question because as a wife and as a mother, there's just a certain way you don't walk out the damn house. So I couldn't imagine putting something on and you looking at me and saying, no, go change. Because I would look at it before it even got to you and be like, oh, hell no, we ain't going out in this. There's things that you're like, that looks fine. And I'm like, nope.
Right.
You said, what?
Well, sorry. There's some things that I say that looks fine because you're worried about something else that
Thank you, Milani.
I'm not worried about.
Yeah, but like Milani said, like you can
Right,
be
you can be
sexy
sexy and classy. Correct.
You ain't gotta go
You ain't got to
outside
be look
in
like a
your
thought.
freaking teddy or negligee trying to be sexy red. But I'm 35 years old. I'm too old for that shit. No, thank you. I'm good.
You know, we ain't got to be, you know.
Go ahead with your show, brother. Just go ahead with your show, man. Do your thing. You have videos and shit. Stop. Get it together.
All right, sorry.
I'm sorry, Angela. I should have warned you.
Melanie knows I'm a mess. All right. Great, Joe. Yeah, I sprung it on her. I told her I was gonna spring stuff on her. She don't know.
I didn't.
Right.
I could have went the rest of my life.
Okay, but see, once a woman gets older, the importance is stability. I'm sorry, the importance is stability. So looks isn't as important. That is true. For women, all right, back on topic. For women, looks don't necessarily matter as much. And it usually doesn't. Historically, women never really used to worry about looks so much. It was always part of the equation, but it never used to really matter as much. However, men, on the other hand, complete different. We rely on looks a lot. And there's a very simple answer for that. Things external to our body has to like what we see in order to function, in order to work. So that's why the physical is very, very important to us. However, y'all, on the other hand, physical is part of it, but it's not as huge of a requirement. That's why. However, what's starting to happen now is women are starting to look and date and secure in the way that men do, where the looks are the things that matter, and you become very bad or poor judgment of character when it comes to masculinity, when it comes to provisionaries, when it comes to someone who's able to provide purpose, drive, structure, safety, balance, and then you have kids by them, and then you're stuck. And again, if the shoe fits, wear it. If it doesn't, if it doesn't fit, don't wear it. If it does fit, lace that motherfucker up and let's walk. Okay. You know who you are if I'm talking to you. Okay. All right. And it's not meant to be, it's not meant to draw blood. All right. So just, take the cut. All right.
This might be a 4-part series.
Oh boy. Damn it. All right. So who's doing the judging of who is what, and does their view and opinion even matter to the other? Last time I checked or looked around today, it's a man's world, and that man owns, operates, and controls. A lot to unpack there. We're going to unpack that one later. I'm going to save it. There we go. Yes.
I think this reference is perfect.
Perfect. Okay. Oh, there we go. Salute to you, sir. And that's why there are so many single parent homes. Yes. All right. So we got some clips here. It's only about 5 minutes worth of clips. But, and again, my wife, my lovely wife, has not seen any of these yet. So again, my wife has agency, y'all. So I cannot. All right. Here we go.
No.
Do we need men?
Honestly, no.
Do we need men?
No.
Why?
Because they suck.
Your face.
This guy says in today's society, they are either trying to feminize men, and when that doesn't work, they attempt to make men obsolete. And while there is a lot of truth to that, every level-headed person knows that women need men, just like men need women. There is overlap in what men and women are capable of bringing to the table, but there are a lot of things that men do that women can't. Just like there are plenty of things that women do that men cannot. Now that statement seems like common sense, but in 2023, it's not.
Damn it.
All right.
Damn it.
All right. Women want the looks, but refuse to look out.
Okay, wait. First of all, can we not ask some little stupid ass girl that just turned 20, but is still somehow hungover? Can we ask like grown ass women that serious question? Because you can tell them girls, they've been through something, all right? They just got finished crying.
Yes. Women are supposed to use femininity to soothe the savage beast or seduce him with her femininity, feminine ways as her advantage over him, not to respond or look for positive results from him in masculinity. Agreed. But now there's a part that I'm going to address here. I'm going to say this response, or say this comment. You said feminine ways as her advantage over him. I'm going to talk about that. So stand by. I'm going to bring this comment back up because I'm going to talk about that advantage. And Angela says that part to you there, babe. All right. Let's see. If a man doesn't act with a certain sophistication, he can easily be seen as toxic to women. If a man is loud or cursing, etc., a man will say he's being a man, establishing, owning space, territory, dominance. Can I agree with that? All right. So the only thing I'm going to say about that little blurb is that yes, this is this is what I hear. So, babe, when I'm talking to you and I'm telling you that that the preponderance of women, say this outlandish bullshit of, do you need men? No, men are stupid. No, we don't need men. I can do anything you can do. I can do better. Blah 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 blah. There are countless videos of just really walking around asking women, do you need men? Men, I mean, literally on The View, men are stupid, yada yada, so on and so forth, right? But I had to bring a video up like this because of the society piece. But it starts in the relationship of vetting. First of all, establishing what you're looking for in a man and understanding what men provide, what men do, and the purpose of it, and not curtail it. Sure, you can ask them to adjust certain things relative to an interpersonal interdependence basis. I'm not saying don't ask and don't set boundaries, of course. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that understand that if you're looking for a man, you're getting a fucking man. We as men understand what we're getting when we're asking for a woman. We're getting someone who's indecisive and someone who we're going to probably always have to figure out what's for dinner and tell them what's for dinner. Okay? We're getting someone who's going to be a nurturer. We're getting someone who's going to tell us where, guide us in to some degree, and provide counsel. We're getting someone who has sensitivities that we're going to have to shore up every so often. We're getting someone who needs reassurances. I mean, there are elements about a woman that we as men just understand, and we can go down the list because the list is plethoric and there's a panoply of different characteristics about a woman, and they change subjectively depending on the woman. Every woman is like a big ass Rubik's cube, and you cannot solve them with one goddamn combination. We accept as men femininity. For whatever reason, masculinity seems to be a problem with the larger preponderance of women. So BMU, if you're still watching, that is my idea as to what I think society seems to have a problem with masculinity. It's not necessarily masculinity itself. It is the process of it, because it looks ugly. It looks nasty. It doesn't look nice, especially the process of becoming a man, because women love the finished product. Only a few women are able to deal with a man who is in the throes of becoming one. Everybody wants the finished product. Nobody wants the work in progress. They want the finished Damascus steel. They don't want the one that's still twisting and needs to be put through the iron, put through the urn, or put through the cauldron. All right, off my horse on that one. I had to get that one out. All right.
Feel better?
Yeah, I feel better. All right. All right. Masculine and feminine is a yin yang as the aspects of individuals, be it male or female, both need to work in accordance with each other. Yes. Era Black TV, I don't understand why the fuck this is so damn difficult for people to understand. This is why when I made the show about a better balance or a more balanced union, I think it was my part 4 series. I don't understand why people seem to have responded to it in such a negative way. Because a more balanced union is all I was simply saying was, two people are coming together with opposing strength, opposing polarizing characteristics, and they're coming together to create a union, balancing each other out, respecting each other's differences, respecting each other's strengths. And yes, one might be more subservient to the other one than the other. But the woman, I have to suggest that the woman needs to bow the head to the man just a little bit more. Because here's the reason. I don't think there's too many women who likes or prefers a man to constantly be bowing to her or sniffing around her too much, because that sounds like a needy, desperate, out of options, weak man. A woman does not like for a man to constantly be sniffing under her skirt or constantly, pedestalizing her. That is a man that she is able to control, and she only likes that man for one or two reasons. She gets tired of that man, and that man she cheats on. That man, if there's ever going to be any type of redemption for that man needs to change if that relationship is going to ever have any chance of surviving. Whew. Need to get that out of chamber too.
I can answer that question for you, though, if you're looking for an answer as to why people had an issue with that episode.
It was meant to be generic. It was meant to be rhetorical.
I mean, my answer is too. I mean, it's simple. People fear what they don't understand. Lack of comprehension scares people.
Sorry. It's like reading material here. They don't want an established man because he's a direct threat to her strong independence. Okay. Someone mentioned this in my polling as well. Sacrificing what is theirs. I call this, Braxton, I'm glad you mentioned this. I call this the Elizabethan effect. The Elizabethan concept or complex. If you know what I mean, just put a 1 in the chat if you know what I mean when I say the Elizabethan complex. Blah, blah, blah. Elizabethan complex. There we go. I need to drop the jaw so I can see all the eds. Okay. Anywho, but yes, you got a point there. All right. Here we go.
We've met some of your fans, and we got the impression.
We're still dealing with the importance of men in society at this point. So there's a reason why they're structured this way. So let's go.
They were all male fans, the ones that we talked to, and that they were struggling with their manhood, and that you give them this message that it's okay to be a man.
It's not okay. It's necessary. What the hell are we going to do without men? You look around the city here, you see all these buildings go up, these men, they're doing impossible things. They're under the streets, working on the sewers, they're up on the power lines, in the storms, in the rain. They're keeping this impossible infrastructure functioning. The gratitude for that is sorely lacking, especially among the people who should be most grateful.
See, the thing about being male is you have to voluntarily accept responsibility for a family. If you're a female, you don't have to do that, because as soon as you have a baby, you're basically forced into the position where you're going to take responsibility. But a male has to do that voluntarily. And the rewards for that, fundamentally, at least to me, for the new generation, seems to have vanished. There's very little privilege, there's very little payment, there's very little stability. And so I see a lot of young men wondering, what am I supposed to do, and why is it that I would do what I'm supposed to do in the future? What's the gain? And I don't really see what the gain is for many of them.
Men are
You're on mute.
Mute monster
Mute
got
monster.
me. Yep. So I'm gonna pause there for a second and get some feedback on that. While I'm reading this, babe, what do you think?
About which one, the first or the second?
Both of them. So we can start on the first one.
So the first, I agree with. I don't understand the statement of we don't need men. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. Just the fact of how a child is conceived explains that that men are needed. Just that alone, aside from everything else, but just that alone explains why men are needed. But again, I have no quarrels with the first video. I don't have any quarrels with the second video. It's just, for me, it was a little bit hard to follow like where he was going with his point in the second video.
And the third?
No, the second.
I said, and the third?
The third, you stopped. Yeah, that one didn't play. Or is that the video?
This is the second one right here.
That was the first one you played.
Mm-mm.
You played that one first, and then it was another guy in a dark room second, and then the lady came on third, and you stopped at the lady.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay. So the first one you said you don't need men. Okay, I see what you're saying. And
Yeah,
okay, so this one right here is the one where Jordan Peterson is talking about all that men do, and the necessity is not really not really a requirement for men. It's a necessity for men to be men.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, I see what you're saying. All right. And as far as this one right here, where we're talking about the differences between men and women. It's like, okay, first and second. Okay, got it. Now, do you agree with this? With his premise on women are forced, and men have to voluntarily, quote unquote, be responsible?
I mean, yeah, without getting too specific and splitting hairs, yes, it makes sense because women are the ones who carry the baby. They're the ones who birth the baby. So they're essentially the ones that are stuck with the baby, even though they could give the baby up for adoption but we went through this last time. So for the premise of what he's saying, yeah, a man has to choose to be a father, whereas a mother is just a mother. But not really, because you could choose to not be a mother too. Plenty of people do it.
No.
Braxton's single's never been so good. Yeah. Okay, now you're back.
It's doing stuff on my end that's weird. Okay.
Yeah, I'll see your
All
connection.
right, so I didn't hear most of that because
We're on the same connection. How does this even work? Okay, now you're back.
I'm irritated.
I can tell.
Yeah, I see. I have no idea why this thing keeps doing that, and it always does it. And what's funny is I have like a full signal. I have a full signal on the bottom, but like in the corner right here, inside of the of StreamYard, this signal is weak. I don't understand the two. Yeah, this StreamYard keeps. I don't know what's going on.
Which is weird
Masculinity doesn't
on the same network, but
I understand. Masculinity doesn't count. And only a threat to another man if a man is trying to harm him. I can agree with that. Oh yeah, it clicks away whenever I do it now. See? And that signal it says connection is unstable, and I have no idea why, even though everything down here is working just fine. Okay, so we will continue and see if things fix itself.
The position where you're going to take responsibility, but a male has to do that voluntarily. And the rewards for that, fundamentally, at least to me, for the new generation, seems to have vanished. There's very little privilege, there's very little payment, there's very little stability. And so I see a lot of young men wondering, what am I supposed to do, and why is it that I would do what I'm supposed to do in the future? What's the gain? And I don't really see what the gain is for many of them.
Men are critical. That's how men are. The reasons why children do better with both parents, intact families, is because they receive unconditional love and support from mum, but very conditional high standards from father, who is there to remind you that this is not good enough, telling him he needs to work harder, telling him he's going to be a loser if he doesn't work hard. So if you have a man who resents that aspect of a father, chances are he's going to be disconnected from his masculinity. He doesn't understand the masculine version of love. He has an idea that love should just be constantly being nice, constantly being polite, constantly believing you. So then what happens when you get into a relationship with a man like this, they cannot take criticism. Ever. They act almost childlike, and they get sensitive, and they almost act very feminine. They act girly when you give them feedback.
I have a son.
Oh.
Did you pause that on purpose?
I did.
Okay. Look, she ain't wrong. She is not wrong.
I only pause it because you have experience in this area. I don't.
Do I?
I ain't never been with a man, so what? No, I haven't. Shit. So you tell me.
Okay, so we're obviously only talking about the third video. That makes sense now. Like I said, she tells no lies. I don't know how much deeper you want me to dive into that. It makes sense. Like, and I know that even myself watching your interactions with our son, it's just like, man, you look hard on me. And then like, and you look at me with like, I know you don't get it, and I know you don't understand, but there's a reason for it, and I trust you, so I let it fly. But in the back of my head, I'm like, my poor baby. But I also know that he's a 15-year-old boy. He's not a baby, so you're preparing him to be the man he needs to be, and that doesn't look pretty, and I wouldn't be able to do it. So yeah, children need both freaking parents.
Yeah, to provide that balance. Hey, Sparta, how you doing? Now, I'm gonna use this example because you remember that TikTok guy who I made cry. The guy on the panel on TikTok.
Oh, Derek. Yeah.
I was trying not to say his name.
There's a million Dereks on the planet, I'm sure.
Fine. Anyway, that individual.
I'm sorry. I have no problem putting names on things.
I see that. That individual. Definitely to me, once he received direct criticism from me, that was not nice. That was not well. I wasn't very stoic, actually. I really laid into him.
You did.
He was. I'm sorry. He was
put directly in his ass.
He was weak. He was fucking weak.
But I think more importantly is it was very apparent. It was very clear that he was looking for sympathism. He was looking for someone to come and comfort the woe is me. And when you are in it, it was very random.
Hold on, babe. Hey, Sparta, you know what? This is what I got for you. All right, go ahead, babe.
I don't remember where I was. Okay.
Sorry. I had to get people where they fucked up. All right, go ahead.
Well, since we're getting on people where they fucked up. No?
Go ahead.
I'm just asking a clarifying question. But I have no clue where I was once you played that video.
It's all right. Listen. Here's the thing. All right. I always show off when I'm with my wife. All right. I always do that. Even in public. All right. I'm a fool. All right. Now, amongst men, all right, I maintain a composure. All right. Until I'm provoked. Or when some shit doesn't make any fucking sense. And then at that point,
you
I'm
blame
like,
this on me?
Huh?
You don't blame this on me in my presence? Is why
lady, you
you're
already
like this?
hold on. Pause for the cause. Okay, hang on. Come on now. Pause. You know good and darn well, everywhere we go, don't look at me like that. You know good and darn well, everywhere we go, everyone always says that we act a fool.
I don't know what you're talking about. Don't be looking for no little video over there.
You're wicked. You're wicked.
You can stop it.
Bullshit. I love that little kid. I love that kid. He's great.
All right. So, all right. In other words, to me, what the lady here, I forget her name. I know her last name is Khan. What she was saying, well, not this lady here. This lady. To me, what she's saying is absolutely correct. All right. And we as men, if we do not provide criticism, if we do not provide structure, if we do not provide any type of balance to what the mother is providing, okay? There have been times I've told our oldest son that if you're looking for someone to just give you, actually, I think I said this to him last night or night before last. If you're looking for someone to just go and give you a congratulations because you got an A for effort, that's what you go to your mother for that. Play with your mama, not me. I'm going to tell you that by people are going to judge you and congratulate you by the work that you do and the product and the result of the work and how well you did the work, not because of the fact that you tried to do the work. So that's great. You did something, but how good did you do it? Try again and do it better this time. Thanks for trying. That may seem very harsh, but I'm no longer in the phase of good job. You tried something. Not in that phase. Do it better. So yes.
Oh, thank you, Angela. I appreciate you. I was talking about Derek because he came into a live room where we were having a panel looking to basically get sympathy from a bunch of strangers. Now, for what reason, I don't know. Why victims play victim is beyond me. But it was very apparent that he was seeking attention, and you were the only person that were actually asking questions to try to understand the root cause of this issue that he was having. And in everything that he said, anything that you came back with, it was then pivoted to an excuse. And it was just like, okay, you're not actually looking for anything other than for some, oh, you poor baby, I'm so sorry that happened to you, which Yeah, if I'm being perfectly honest, I do have a lot less of that feeling for men than I do women, but I don't really do the whole poor baby thing anyway for anybody, to include children. But I guess I do have a lower tolerance of it from men than I do women, because there's a part of me that expects women to be overly emotional about crap, and a part of me that expects men to be a bit more stoic. So yeah.
Agreed. And he was being a little whiny little bitch. Sorry.
But I'm the one acting up. Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Yeah, but not sorry. You're sitting here looking for sympathy, and you caught the wrong panel with the wrong dude who doesn't have time for sympathy. Okay, some fucked up shit happened. What are you doing about it?
Well, prior to that, he had been kicked out of 2 other panels.
Well, then you know what? He didn't. He kicked himself off, because as long as he was there, I was willing to keep jabbing him in his side until his ribs broke. Verbally, of course.
But it's not like you were telling him anything that wasn't true. You were just being honest with him in a way that wasn't so, come lay your head on my bosom, let's talk about it.
Yeah, because I ain't got none.
I'm sorry, but at a certain age, I expect you to be able to take some criticism without it being wrapped up in bubble wrap and, mailed to you.
Well, I guess that's why he's at his mama's house. Okay. Anyway, moving on. We got 2 more clips left. Sorry, I'm sorry. Again, don't let the nails and nice face fool you. Okay, I'm really not nice.
He's not. He's mean as shit half the time. I like it.
And they almost act very feminine. They act girly when you give them feedback.
I have a son in his 20s, and this is a bar that he dropped on me, and it crushed me, but I needed that. He said, if you really loved me the way that you said you loved me, you would have taught me how to survive in the situations that you were afraid of killing me, instead of protecting me and not teaching me how to protect myself. And that is what happens when mothers think that they can raise men. We don't teach them how to protect themselves the way that a man teaches a man how to protect himself. What we do is we coddle them, and we become this wall of security that come crashing down when they get to smelling themselves and they in their 18s and 19s, and now he can't live in your house no more, and you send him out into the world unprotected, and that's why he resents you.
Yes.
Come on, where's my guy? Where is my guy? Where's he at? There he is.
Oh, Lord.
Yes. It wasn't like that sit for a bit.
Yeah, I got nothing. I mean,
look,
she preached. I got nothing.
Just this right here is part of the reason why. It is one of the reasons why men are coming into the world unprepared, because it's the mindset. The mindset starts at the very, very beginning, because it's the thought that I can have this child and I don't need a man to have this, to go through this life and this world with a child.
Which is absolutely nuts to me, because once upon a time, women understood Like women and boys understood that we do not have the capability to teach boys how to become men. We can read every book there was ever written about it, and we still wouldn't have the necessary tools to teach boys how to be men. And then as the years have gone on, now these women have boys and they name them Aiden, Jaden, Braden, or whatever else. And it's just mom and Aiden all the time. And we don't need a man and yada, yada, yada. And then your child becomes an adult, doesn't know how to handle their first situation with another man who has been raised to be a man. And now you're trying to figure out why your child's calling you having a whole panic attack, anxiety attack, because they don't know how to deal.
Or an anxiety attack on TikTok. I'm just saying.
Or it goes and creates 3 series on YouTube, all because they felt butthurt when their name wasn't added. Trey, talking to you, sweetheart. And then gets completely beside. I've never seen another grown man just be so obsessed with another grown man and then sit there and say that they hate all the colors of the rainbow and they have issues with women and this, that, and the fourth. You don't like people, and that's fair. It doesn't seem like they like you either, which probably explains why every video you do has you outside, but neither here nor there. It's very easy to tell a man who has not been raised by a man in his life because he acts like a little bitch. Now I'm done. That was weighing heavy on my heart.
Obviously.
It was.
Lady,
see, I just really quick, because I'm not.
Sure.
I'm not.
Here we go.
So just really quick. Because I'm protective of people I care about by nature. It is something encrypted into my DNA. There's nothing I can do about that. So be it my husband or my children or myself, my sister, hell, my mama for that matter. Okay. Them my people. Don't play with me, gente, because I love them. And when I love them, I will do anything to protect them from, even if it's just a threat that I perceive to be a threat. They don't have to. But I'm also a wife to Boss Man. And with that comes a certain set of rules that I understand. I don't have to like or agree with, but I understand and I abide by them because they're the rules of our household, our marriage, our union. So I make it a habit not to involve myself in men business. So when Boss Man is arguing amongst other men, as much as I would like to jump in because I am an absolute samurai with my words, I don't, because that is men having a conversation and a woman has no place to be there. However, when you then make mentions at me or my children, well, then that makes your bitch ass fair fucking game. So, yeah, I said what the fuck I said. And please, sweetheart, make as many videos as you'd like to. No one watches them. And just serious question. Is that too far? It is. Proceed. I yield. But I just thought since we were on the subject of bitch motherfuckers that I'd just go ahead and get that off my chest. And BMU, if you could send this over to the link, it'd be delicious. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that.
So I told y'all, Lioness here, and we're going to move forward.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. I'm going to address it.
Thank you.
I was not going to bring up No, you don't.
I'm a sweetheart. No clue what you're talking about. Absolute sweetheart.
And all right. So and what's funny is that I'm not really that nice either. But it is what it is. I wasn't going to bring any of this up because it's not a wise nor a wise move or a mature move as a man to respond in kind to what was provided or what was posted about myself, about my wife, about my child, about my household, relative to an opinion that was broad over a reaction to what was an interaction that was rooted in just tamping down a situation that was started because you didn't like hearing me speak. However, I wasn't going to respond or do anything in the same way because I was going to take a better road or a different road, because you lead by example.
And I'm still a work in progress. This man is way better than I am. I have no problems admitting that. He is willing to go high when people go low, and I go to hell. So if a bitch is going to come at me and my babies, then by all means, sweetheart, it ain't nothing. You want to get buck, we can knock up a buck. I love that Edward Gilbert said families are off limits. If you have beef with the man, keep it with him. Going after someone's family shows how weak you are. Absolutely. Just like recording every video outside shows how homeless you are. Again, Trey, because I just don't want no confusion. Trey, the bald head, just portly looking one, that one, Trey. Boss man won't put a name on it. He's a lot more classy than I am. I can get a little what's the word? Wood or no. But them others refer to women as like hyenas or whatever. I can be a hyena from time to time. And seeing as how Trey can also, we can get real primal, get real buck. Obviously not physically, because I would leave that for my husband. But sweetheart, you want to go back and forth with words? I got you. Just please understand I have no cut cards. And I will talk about absolutely anyone. That's all. Cool, calm, and collected. Just leave me and mine alone. That's all.
So what I was going to do was address it one-on-one with him, and I'm still going to. So now that that's out,
and for the record, I said this shit, not my husband. I just want that very clear, because boss man's thoughts are boss man's thoughts, and seeing as how I have a separated brain from his, my thoughts are my thoughts. So the conversation that y'all will have, obviously, that's between men. But me, I'm not as forgiving, and I'm petty. So yeah. And no, I ain't apologizing for shit. I said what I said. I meant it when I said it.
Milani, you're egging it on.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. So yes, I don't take too kindly to going after someone's going after or criticizing or having demeaning or besmirching, or for that matter, degrading commentary to go after someone's wife and children. And this is honestly rooted in the fact that, again, there was dislike or disdain for how I handled a particular situation. I won't get into it, because that's for he and I to have a one-on-one conversation on. But we will have a one-on-one conversation about that because men need to do that and not have disagreements back and forth on the internet. So my information can be reached by our mutual consigliere. Mutual consigliere.
Now you know good and fuck word. You don't know what that word means, but okay.
Mutual consigliere has already received my request to have a one-on-one on a particular meeting platform. So I'm waiting. Anyway, moving on. Play.
And this country is a failure today because the fathers and the husbands have failed. How? Failing to be the example they need to be, failing to be the leaders they need to be, failing to be the disciplinarian.
Oh no, Sparta, he would not like it. Nobody would like it.
Well, he doesn't have a wife or his kids. Am I not allowed to state facts?
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Well, okay. No, see, we can't. Come on now.
Who talks about a 2-year-old?
I understand.
I'll behave. Sorry, play your video. I'll stop being disruptive.
Anyone who supported such behavior is also partly an issue as well.
No, I don't believe you're supporting it at all.
Oh, come on. Hi, thing. Hang on, there's a delay. It won't let me move it.
That they need to be, failing to be the providers that they need to be. If you don't have
I might have to replay this one, babe.
If it's going to be mad at me, my kids are going to hate me, but in the long run, this is a very bad direction, and I'm putting my foot down, and we're not doing that. And you become the bad guy, but you do it for the long-term strength and safety of the family, and we've lost that.
Okay, so Braxton, you mentioned a very good point. The feminists brought the failure. Men didn't fail. Well, I have a retort for you, sir. The feminist movement, relative to the policies that support the feminist movement, right? You would agree that policies support the feminist movement, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Well, I have a follow-up question. Who voted predominantly for all of these policies? And who wrote most of these policies? Because Congress and at the state level and at the federal level are still predominantly this one gender. Class, I pick you.
I'm gonna pick men 4,000, Alex.
You'd be correct. So,
but feminists, no, they didn't help at all. Not even
feminists didn't help because feminists voted for the shit. But the point that I'm making here is that men still failed because we allow for this shit. Oh, and you want to know how we allowed for this shit? Because it started the very moment that we decided that the government would be better off taking care of our children than us.
Mm.
How about it started when we decided to unload into someone during coitus when we weren't ready to take care of what may spring out of that 9 months later. That's 50% of that yin and yang. Because the other 50% is that same woman who allowed him to do that when she wasn't ready. All because the 5 to 10 millimeter thick condom would obstruct the feeling. If we're going to talk about it. And then the men who voted for this trash, they allowed it. They wrote the policies because the legislators inside of the legislatures are predominantly men. Did you catch that, babe? Did you catch that? Because you squinted at me.
I'm look.
Okay, we'll have to disagree. I mean, may have wrote it, but it was the feminist idea. You can't, yes, everybody, Martin Luther King had a dream, but it could have just remained a fucking dream if it wasn't people in Congress who made his dream into legislation. I'll leave it there. Appreciate the comment. All right.
Not Martin Luther King had a dream. I'm sorry.
Hey, lost in translation. They may have written the policies, but they didn't write the abuse of the policies. Now that I can agree with too. Okay. Now, how the policies are wielded and used within the actual judiciary system, very good point. Absolutely. How they are interpreted in the judiciary system once it leaves the legislatures and gets over to the executive, and then how it's interpreted. Absolutely, I can agree with that 100%. Very good point. The only thing hold on, I just thought about something. The only thing I would ever come back on is that as far as judges are concerned, how many judges are men relative to women, or how many of the judges are conservative as opposed to liberal, and are the policies written in such a way that there's no other way to interpret them but in such a way that is in favor of a particular person or particular entity or a class of individuals. Okay. All right. We're cooking with fire here. I like it. So good thought. But now fire back at me with something else. They are lost. All right. Sorry. I love this shit. Okay. And this type of thinking, I like this shit. Okay. All right. You see, I see him over here dancing, babe. Okay. You see? All right. But here is one of the reasons why I think masculinity in men, or why men in general, are weak. Hold on, fellas.
Men are becoming so weak because they idolize sex. They put sex on a pedestal, and the quickest and easiest way to weaken a man is sex. And it's the dumbest thing on the planet to invest in women who don't care about you. And all of these OnlyFans girls, all of these porn sites, all these webcam girls, they're there to manipulate you. So the reason why men have lost all their masculinity is that they put looks and appearance on a pedestal. And if a woman looks like a woman that he likes, he will drop all of his boundaries and standards just to get her attention, and she manipulates you. And if you're a man who can get manipulated by a pretty girl, you are the weakest man in the world. You're the weakest. Whereas if you're a man who can stand strong with a beautiful girl, you're the strongest. So I think because men are becoming so weak to beauty and so saturated by sex and stuff, that's why we've got no masculinity left.
You only blame men when he leaves the responsibility of family. You only need men to protect and provide for a family. This sense of unwavering commitment is the power of his masculinity some women will never experience. We are all vulnerable to something or someone. We are all humans. Agreed. You only blame men when he leaves the responsibility of family. You only need men to protect and provide for a family. Okay, I agree.
But
go ahead, babe.
I was gonna say because I get what he's saying. It's like when it comes to women talking about, okay, well, we don't need men. Well, you blame when they leave the family, but you say you don't need men, right?
Right.
Then it's like I need a man to protect, provide, but I thought you didn't need men. And so it's like you can't have it both ways, which 100% agree. And like you're talking out your ass if you're talking about, women don't need men, but then be upset that men leave families because women need men. Sorry. I mean, children need their fathers, absolutely. But yeah, that's a man. So that woman essentially needs that man to help raise that child. Neither here nor there. Go ahead, baby.
I digress.
I digress.
All right. Let me expand on the last clip. I believe that when it comes to the prioritization of sex, when I hear men say on whatever podcast I'm on, one of the primary things that I hear a lot is about the requirement of sex. It's always necessary for sex. A woman must give herself to him all the time, unadulterated, constantly, sex. And it's never the problem if a woman is not supporting him that comes to mind first. It's usually the absence of or the abdication of any type of sexual pleasure. And why is that the first thing that comes to mind? Because if that's the first thing that comes to mind that you are upset about, that means that was the first thing that is the most important to you, which means that was the first thing that is the root and foundation of the entire experience or the entire interaction, relationship, marriage, or for that matter, that is what you hold most pertinent. And if she knows that, that means she has the most utter control over you. Because the very fact that you're sitting around pissed off that you're not getting none, that means she has the most control over you. Now let's back it out of a relationship. If in the dating realm, I hear women all the time, men are like dogs. they'll just screw anything walking. Well, let's see. If we act like that, if we just act like that men are predominantly just standing on the line, standing on the side of the road, and we're just ready to just insert here whenever a woman just offers herself and is willing to, I'm speaking proverbially here, then that's how they're going to treat us. If we make that the most important thing outside of what important: provision, structure, foundation, purpose, balance, direction. What is the most important thing is that we get our rocks off. What we tell a woman is that, hey, you being there for me, you supporting me, you respecting me, that's secondary. But I gotta have sex. And I gotta have it so bad that if I don't get it, every damn thing else can waver, but that can't. What you just told that woman was that I can be a piece of shit to you. I can break boundaries. I can even disrespect you. But as long as you shine my shoe, we're good. A woman does not respect that. You want to know what type of relationship you have with a woman? Tell your woman no sometimes.
You're not going to give them a disclaimer? Just tell them, just go out there and tell the women no?
Oh, be ready for the shit.
Oh, okay. Shit.
Be ready for the shit. Hey, I'm just going to tell you something.
Good.
Be ready. Be ready. Be ready for the shit. No. Oh my God. Be ready for the shit. But here is the thing. No woman really likes a man that she can 100% control.
No.
Because if you put your foot down about something and the only thing that it takes for her to do is come over here and wiggle her ass, and then basically you're just, my foot wasn't there. In her mind, she says, got him. Then what's the point of putting your foot down? What's the point? And then I understand that we as men want to have a woman that continuously piques our attention and piques our visual attention. I understand that. And I'm not saying not pay attention to that. I'm not saying not require that. I'm not saying that when you're out here looking, look for that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that don't lead with allowing the assumption or allowing the presupposition and the understanding that all that woman has to do is bend over, lay down, and shine a shoe. And she doesn't have to be smart. What?
So I'm with Milani. So I don't. So I like when he controls me. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, mom. Please and thank you.
That shit is not attractive. Yes, and women will sit back here and say all day long that it's a good thing to have a man wrapped around her finger. Yeah, this shit here is nice.
Okay.
Well,
I gotta ask this question again. Who are these bitches?
These women are the type of women who basically are scared to relinquish control over to the man. So they want our men that they can control, and they want the ability to have, pussy control. That's what they want.
But a man that can be controlled by pussy can easily be tempted. That never. I don't want a man that is just completely weak to the thought of getting like that. That's a useless man. No, thank you.
Well, see, but see, again, where are you in your life? And though that's a different mindset and different concept. You, Angela, Milani, all of y'all are in different mindsets because y'all have not had the experience of dating women who have told you all these things. Just like I told you that I haven't had any experience of dating men, y'all haven't really had any experiences to the extent that we've had of dating women telling us this shit. It's like the moment that you don't stand up at attention, the moment that you don't do so, it's like, or the moment that you don't give what they think that you're supposed to give in the moment. Oh, something wrong with you. Well, no, bitch. I just said I didn't want nothing. Shit. Or maybe you just not what I'm interested in. Shit. Bye. And it's the problem of rejection, apparently, that they have a problem with. Or how about we're past the point where sex is everything that could be anything that could be everything? What else you got, boo? Because the body don't always get you everything, and I didn't already seen everything. So, come on, what else you got? Especially when we're living in a world where, we at this table and you supposed to be given something because we're in a world where it's egalitarian, boo. And you want to say around here, and you want to say about you want to say and responsibility on things that I am delegating to you because you make money. So, boo. Like, come on. After the honeymoon phase goes off, and after I done felt every inch of every wall inside of you, what else is left? There's got to be something else, men. And if she can control you on that and control your entire mood because you're afraid of being able to tell her what you think, tell her what you feel, tell her what's going on because you're afraid that you're not getting some nookie at the end of the night, get the fuck over yourself. You had a hand long before you met her. Figure it out. What? What? Look, I already put on my YouTube channel. This is not under the age of 18 material.
I know. I read the disclaimer.
Do not allow women to control you sexually, because what that gives her is carte blanche to just do whatever the fuck she wants to do. Because what I have is just as valuable as what you got. I don't give shit. You're going to be angry just like I'm going to be angry, but we're going to get this shit here sorted out before we meet at the continental fucking divide.
You just not getting to the comment?
Yeah, I'm just not getting to the comments. I had some on my chest, damn it, shit. I mean,
that's all I you.
Yeah, just make sure you get the lotion, okay? Make sure you don't have alcohol in it, otherwise you can
wait specifically for Bath and Body Works though. So now I got questions.
Damn, Sparta, which one? Really now? I mean, I can't say for certain, but I will say this. Women like to pretend that men are the only ones who are walking around here, in the heat and sniffing around for the very next thing walking. But I'm gonna tell you something: women are just as bad as men are.
Probably worse.
Say, Jesus fix it, Lala. Somebody mentioned the damn cucumber.
First of all, that was lost in translation, and he wasn't even talking about the same thing. I just saw that too. He said cucumber melon, which is one of the lotions from Bath and Body Works.
Okay.
Calm down.
All right. Okay. All right. I thought the trauma from TikTok was following me again. Okay.
No,
all right.
no.
Nobody asked. No questions. Just leave it at that. All right. Let's see what else. What else we got in the comments here? Okay. Angela.
Angela knows.
All right. Just leave it alone, Angela. Leave it alone. Oh, Melania says men are demanding more from women, and I love that for them.
I know that's right.
And we should. Now, here's my rule on it, Melanie. Okay, you let me know how you feel about it. Okay, ready? Here we go. I don't think men should ever demand more of a woman than they are able to produce and demonstrate and exemplify. Because a man has to first lead by example in order for a woman to be able to follow. If you can't produce it or exemplify it, you can't expect her to do so either. Which means you have to sacrifice in order to first demonstrate it if you're not first already receiving it, which means you have to always sacrifice first. And then your sacrifice then becomes her way of saying, damn, he did something and I didn't actually reciprocate it, but he did it honorably. Anyway, he poured when he wasn't even receiving. Fuck. Gotcha. It's always a leader's job to sacrifice for the greater good. All right. Up, sit, Isaac. Bingo. Look at that. Boy, I tell you, I don't need a woman to be the same as me. I need her to be different. One of us is redundant and not needed. Okay.
And
so
just in response to that, like for a woman to be the same as the man, like, are you in competition with him? What are you doing? I don't understand that. Like y'all can have similar qualities, similar traits, similar likes or interests, things like that. But to be the same as your man, I don't understand, because at that point, like you're in competition with him.
Yeah, when I say expecting something of her that you then have to emulate in order to expect. What I mean by that is if you are wanting something reciprocated, like courtesy between two interdependent or like an interpersonal relationship, you can't then say, I want you to be courteous to me, but I'm not already being courteous to you. Because then if you brought nothing to the table, you don't have anything to proffer. You don't have anything as collateral. You have nothing to bargain with. Because then if you have already shown courteousness, then if she says, oh, I see your courtesy and I raise you 0, then got it? Because see, I think what a lot of people don't like about anyone who exudes any type of boundary relative to masculinity is that it doesn't take any shit. And if it does take a little bit of shit, it don't take it for long. I'm not putting up with giving you something that I've already expressed an expectation of receptivity and reciprocity, and then you're not giving it back. Especially when you expect something of me and you expect immediate investment on your return on your fucking investment. That's fucking standing your ground. That's goddamn standing on business. Women have no fucking problems telling you where you can go kick rocks and where you can go to hell and how you can get there. And it's about goddamn time that we recognize our own fucking importance, our own goddamn value. And when a man recognizes how valuable he is, he ain't taking no fucking shit. Again, don't let pretty face and nails fool you. I don't take shit for long. Hardly take much of it. Have some goddamn boundaries. Realize you are important as men. We are important. Find you someone who sees that you are important. One of the things I noticed about those women is that they did not like someone who was ill-prepared, ill-equipped to be a leader, or didn't have the propensity to be a leader. So I'm going to say this. You can't expect someone to recognize your importance, fellas, if you don't see your own importance. And you don't wield that motherfucker. Now, that comes with practice. Because when I started, especially in a marriage, I swung at a tree and got my sword stuck sometimes. But I also found someone who just said, you got it stuck, honey. Okay. All right. Let's get it out. Let's go this way. And didn't judge me for it. And she set her ass back in her goddamn chair and let me keep swinging. That's the other thing about women that preponderance of women that I seem to have a problem with is that they always want the finished product, never want a man. So I just went through an update and everything's all over the place. Can y'all hear me? Babe, can you hear me?
Yes.
By that face, I can tell you can hear me. Okay. It was like a 2 or 3 part update and everything is all over the damn place. My entire screen just went black on me. I am not getting a Mac. I am not getting anything with that half-bitten Apple. Ain't shit happened great since Eve bit that motherfucker. I ain't doing it. Anyway, women seem to want always want the finished product and never want to actually invest in build with anyone, and then actually see the fruits of the labor of actually building with somebody. You always want somebody else's fucking work. Build your own shit with somebody so you can appreciate what the hell you got. You always want somebody else's vehicle, but you never want to pay for your own shit. Find you a nice man who you can build with so that way you can appreciate every single thing that y'all work hard to get together. Because if you are trying to wait to find the most perfect, finished, pristine man, then get a cat. Get a cat and die alone.
Damn, that went dark.
I'm sorry. Because unless you can prove on the flip side that the most perfect, pristine, and perfect woman exists, because I promise you, boo, you ain't it, then you're not going to find the most perfect, pristine idea or version of a man ever. I ain't getting the Mac. I ain't getting one. It ain't happening. Stop laughing, you over there. I can hear you through the wall over there. I ain't laughing. I ain't getting Mac. It ain't happening. Nope. No, sir. Nope. Ain't getting it. Not gonna happen.
The only person that bothers you like that is someone that truly knows you.
Wait, you're muted. I can't hear you.
I
can hear you talking through the wall, but I can't hear you on here.
And what about now?
Oh, wait a second. Hang on. Maybe they can hear you. Stand by.
You've been having all the technical difficulties.
I'm having all the
today,
technical
thing. I know.
There we go. No, I don't need a Mac. I just need to adjust my output.
Lost, I'm gonna need you to stop this. Because here's the thing: is I'm the one who's gonna have to listen to it later.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
It's gonna be it's gonna be 2 a.m. and no pause. It's gonna be 2 a.m.
I am not.
And he's gonna roll over.
No, 2 a.m. 2 a.m.
No,
2 a.m.
Not they on sale.
Nope.
I'm not. 2 a.m. He's gonna roll over and get no damn Mac, and that's what I'm gonna have to hear. Okay, why?
2 a.m. I'm
Does
on
it come
pod.
with a charger? Or is the charger solar sacrifice?
Why are you reconning? No, I'm not getting it. See, you can maybe talk about it. No, 2 a.m. I'm codding.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. Okay. Listen, at any rate, I think see.
Did you say Call of Duty at 2 a.m. like you don't have to work tomorrow?
Maybe. We'll see. All right. Anyway. It says it comes with a cord too. They finally decided to put pieces you need inside of a box. What a concept.
As much as I love
it comes with a cord. You know, you got to be one fucked up company. It is nasty work. It is diabolical work to put a product in a box and don't put the fucking cord in the box.
You see what you started, Lost? You see what you started?
See. Anyway.
There'll be no peace in this household tonight. I just know it.
All right. So anyway,
I do got to get up at 6. So do you?
Yeah. So
am I needed for further commentary?
No. Here's what's gonna happen. I have said everything I am going to say. I actually got through all my videos. I actually didn't. It was only 5 minutes of videos actually. I just stitched them all together. At any point, my love, I appreciate you for cameoing. Is that even a word? I don't know. I'll talk to Webster about it later. Final thoughts. What the hell does BYODKM means? Bring your own damn. Okay. Go ahead.
I can't. Okay, final thoughts. One, I thank you so much, dear husband of mine, for allowing me to come onto your YouTube family here and cameo with you and offer up my thoughts and opinions. I know that they're not widely agreed with, but I also don't give a fuck. So there's that part. Trey, fuck you, you fat fuck, you stupid little bitch. Please, by all means, at me. Send me the video directly. Because the only flights I catch are direct, you little bitch ass hoe. Said what I said, and I'm not apologizing. That came from me, not boss man. Okay, I'm in a completely different room. So said what the fuck I said. This is what it is. To everyone else. Hope that everyone else except Trey has a wonderful evening. I hope that you all have a blessed Thursday and it goes by quickly. And Saturday before you know it. Trey, specifically for you, I hope you stomp your pinky toe on the edge of a bed on the way to the bathroom and then step on a Lego. You miserable, lonely sack of shit. That's all. And in case anyone was wondering who I was talking to, Trey, fat lip Trey, always outside Trey, dusty looking Trey, dirty looking Trey, nasty looking Trey. Now you know I'm talking about you, ho. I've been up since 4:30 a.m. I don't even have just my normal funny wit. I'm just tired and wanted to make sure that he knows that I think he's a bitch motherfucker and he's a hoe.
Milani asked a question.
Because he has nothing but time on his hands.
So
looks like somewhere
Milani,
in the public using public Wi-Fi all the time.
He made three videos. Yes, he did. Okay.
And with any luck, he'll make another 3 because that's what bitch ass bitches do. So that's exactly what I expect. Please give me what I'm looking for.
And with that, we are going to do. I may have you come on for the next part. We'll see. But I'm also going to talk about the importance of women in relationships, family, and society as well, because we got to keep it balanced. You know how I do. All right. Today,
honey, you know I'm a Libra. Everything's got to be bounced over here.
All right. I charged and attacked the men today. All right. We're gonna go after the women.
Did you attack men? I don't feel like you attacked men. Was that an attack on men?
It wasn't really an attack.
I felt like it was raising an awareness.
Correct. That wasn't really attacking. When I say attack, I mean, zoom in. Okay. I never really attack people. You know how I do.
Okay. Well.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I told you. Dude. I've been.
You see my eyes? My eyes are like my eyes are. Well, I'm not gonna say the word, but my eyes look. We'll just say.
I've been up since 4:30. I had to physically go to the office.
Traffic. Oh my God. Yep, traffic. All right. So anyway, with that in mind, thanks everybody for coming out. Hey, look, as I said, men are important. Okay, men, realize your importance. Okay. And don't let anyone ever tell you that you're not important, okay? And don't let anyone tell you that the qualities that you or we have as men are a problem. They're only a problem.
Hi, Clue.
Hi, Clue. Now, Clue, I'm going to ask you, this is your one shot and your one chance. Okay. Okay, so now you're going to fucked up. All right. So, here's the deal. Clue, you done already fucked up the last time that you were on my on not on this channel, but on some other panel, and you came out your fucking cocksucker and decided to have something to say, and you were a little bitch and didn't want to go ahead and say what you wanted to say. So now you're in the goddamn comments and you want to come in here and start some shit. So how about you kindly fucking leave, or I can give you the goddamn link. You can come up here and say what the fuck you want to say.
What kind of
how did you fuck up? You were a little bitch.
As boss man, you look like you likes men. First of all, it's like take
exactly
off the you ignorant, illiterate.
Exactly. You came up here and you started that shit. And you already fucked up earlier because the last time you decided to be a little bitch and you insinuated something, and I would have had respect for you had you decided to go ahead and say what the fuck you were insinuating. See, I have no problems with someone coming up here and saying what they feel and think, as far as calling me feminine or calling me whatever they want to call me. But you decided to come up the last time and ask me something with an insinuation and then bitch out.
No, I'm sure you do.
Go ahead and continue to do that and go back to wherever fucking hole in that goddamn vehicle you making a goddamn video in, and go back to begging that white bitch, whoever that was, go back to begging her to stay in the fucking relationship with you. Goodbye.
I'm pretty sure she left. She was pretty adamant that she was leaving. She did not want to stay, which, looking at him, I don't blame her. But oh, Angie, baby, Clue, no one important. Don't have a clue why Clue is even here.
Don't worry. You've been fucking reminded. And every time your bitch ass shows up and I'm somewhere, you don't have a fucking voice to fucking speak.
That's such a female tactic. I don't understand that. Okay, so serious question, just for anyone who's left here. Can anyone explain to me why men, specifically these two, Clue and Trey, just so there's no confusion, why I've seen both of these two ignorant, undesirable fucks on this here network popping their shit about how they hate women, yada, yada, yada. They have a problem with Boss Man because they would like to assume or insinuate that he is gay when they spend a good portion of their time trying to pick out other gay men. And I'm just trying to understand, like, because it seems like y'all really want my husband, and like he doesn't like men, like y'all can't have him, so please back off my man's dick, thank you kindly. But the other thing is like, what is wrong with y'all? What y'all mamas do to y'all? Who didn't hug you enough? Like, should we unpack that trauma? Because obviously someone or plenty of someone's have hurt you. So I'm seeking to understand from a psychological aspect, like, what is actually wrong with your brain? Your prefrontal cortex, to be specific, that part of your brain that holds logic, which both of you seem to lack. Again, not coming for you because of Boss Man. It's just a genuine fucking question. I've watched both of you come up here and just say some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my fucking existence. And I was like, there's no way in hell that there's men just turning oxygen into carbon dioxide and being this fucking stupid. But yet, here you are, just gracing the internet. And I said it once, I'll say it again, not everyone deserves access to internet. Just don't get it. So worried about what another man is doing in his bedroom. That's so odd to me.
I didn't even finish trying to give him a chance.
It gives very much so, Milani. Very much so.
I didn't even finish giving a chance to allow there to be some cordial.
He stepped in the door with bullshit. Oh, so Boss Man likes men? First of all, bitch, where'd you come from? 2, again, it's like, not likes. Remove the S. If you're going to try to come for someone, at least do it correctly. But then also, you tried that last time you saw Boss Man, so why are you so concerned about whether he likes men or not? I have to assume it's because you're looking, but he doesn't fly that way. And I really need you and Trey to understand this. Like, y'all can't have him. Sorry. Not really, actually. You just can't. Why you insist on engaging with peasants is beyond me.
Oh no, see, I was waiting. I've been waiting for him. That one's been in the clip for a while, waiting. But I wasn't gonna let that one go. Wasn't gonna let them go until he decided to cross the damn line again. Here's the thing. I don't understand why people seem to think that it's okay to come in and cross people with the expectation that someone is supposed to just take all the time.
Oh, well, it's very obvious that Clue's a troll, even when
here's the problem. Trolls get talked to a little bit and then they get blocked.
Correct. But even when he was on the other show, he didn't have anything valuable to add to the conversation. He just wanted to hop up because he had never been on the show before.
Well, look, I can't blame a wolf for wanting to be a moon. That's why they howl at it.
A wolf? Okay.
Now,
exactly, Milani. Bottom tier.
See, I don't play with Trevor when she gets deleted on site. See,
I don't even understand.
Yeah. So again, on this segment here is mine. Shout out to BMU. So with that in mind, I see his face, his little fucking shit. He can go, but then again, he can do whatever he wants to on his channel.
Why? No one watches it.
He can do whatever he wants to on his channel, and I'm not going to give two fucks about what he does on his channel. However, Trey, on the other hand, he's an affiliate to this one. That's the difference, if anyone's wondering. And I do care.
Have to actually matter to be an affiliate?
When I say affiliate, I mean that he is part of the line of family relative to the network. He's not someone that's on the intro or outro. But what I'm saying is he's part of the babe.
Fine. Never let me have fun.
Thank you. You know what I mean. At any rate, it's been real, y'all. And I'm done letting motherfuckers slide.
I know that's fucking right. Braxton said some individuals should have been deep throat babies. Honey, I can't stand your mama because that bitch could have swallowed and did us all a favor.
Have you ever been swallowed up? Whatever they did so well.
I'm tired, man.
If the Lord was ever on my side, I would have
tired.
I would have been.
I'm tired.
I would have been swallowed up. We need that clip, BMU.
Tired.
All right. So anyway,
please don't get that clip.
We need that clip.
He's gonna swallowed
up.
Please don't get that clip.
I've been swallowed. All right, listen. So
Matter of
anyway,
fact,
folks,
I take that back. Get that clip, and then every time Trey steps in, you can play it.
Oh,
he knows. So everyone knows when the bitch is into the building.
God
The
damn.
bitch that likes to swallow motherfuckers because he ain't got shit better going on in his fucking miserable ass life. So,
all right. It seems
Not
like the more
really.
tired she gets, the more uncouth she becomes. Okay. So anyway,
Mhm.
hey folks, this is my life right here. All
Good
right.
night, my
I love it to
Angie
death.
boo.
All right. Good night, Angela.
love
Hey,
you right
for
back,
the people who came over from TikTok, from my TikTok family, I appreciate you guys. There we go. Salute to you all. I appreciate it.
Oh,
All right.
she should have been putting the tissue.
Who?
Night, Milani.
What did she say? Oh, thank you. I can do a little bit better, but I'm really fucking tired. All right. But thank you. Appreciate it. All right,
So
people.
what happens when you're up till 2 o'clock in the morning playing Call of Duty?
practicing for BMU. He keeps coming for my life. All right, listen.
Man, BMU don't want the smoke. Where is he at? He don't want the smoke. Good night, y'all. I'm sorry.
At any rate, people. Hey, as I always say to everyone, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. All right. Keep the comments rolling. Let me know your thoughts so we can keep the conversation going about this. And like I said, men, know your worth. All right. Ladies, we are important. All right. Find some way for us to be important into your life if you don't think that we already are. And for those of you who think that we are, think and know that we are, we all from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate and love you all. Okay. And like I always said, think about it, think deeper, and think objective. And whatever you come up with, stand on that shit. All right. We out of here. Good night, y'all. Peace.
All right, guys, another one in the books. Another great episode on the Black Men Unfiltered Network. Listen, we're doing the thing over here. So, guys, do me a favor. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, which helps the channel, hit your boy Cash App. It's scrolling right here, right there, at the bottom of the screen. And support the channel. But we're happy that you're here, and we look forward to seeing you on every episode. So hit the notification button so you know when we go live. Thank you again, guys, for watching. We out.